Hi and welcome back to my channel. You see me creating the background for an art journal page in the Dina Wakley Media Journal, and I have torn some strips from Gelli printed paper and I am collaging these to the background. I'm using just that dough scraper to adhere the strips, and then I go over it with that Callisto tool to press it down really well and to get rid of all the crinkles or air bubbles underneath. I'm using gel medium to stick the papers down. I will speed up the process a little bit so you don't get bored by watching me adhering papers. When I'm done with this background, I will let this dry overnight before I create the finished spread. I shared some Gelli printing videos during the last month, and I will link those up in the info box at the top right corner, or you will also find them in a playlist that will show up at the end of the video. The page is dry and I will start with some background stamping, and I just want to share how I mount some of my stamps. I normally don't use the easy mount foam with the rubber stamps, and I just wipe the acrylic block and the stamp with a wet baby wipe, and you can see it doesn't fall off. This normally works with every stamp, but you have to make sure that the surfaces are clean. That means the acrylic block and the backside of the stamp. And also keeping this a bit wet helps to make it stick. It's a bit difficult to stamp because the page is in this bulky book, and I just placed a foam underneath the page so I can get a better stamp impression. As this is only background stamping, it's not that important. I'm using StazOn ink to stamp over the Gelli prints, as I have a very smooth surface and non-porous because of the acrylic and gel medium. It's the best ink. It dries the fastest. Of course you can use the archival ink, but you have to let it sit for a while until it's completely dry. The stamps I'm using here are from the Sketchy Flowers stamp set. These are just the, I would say, the add-on stamps which had some space on the plate, and I added them so you can vary the Sketchy Flowers a little bit. But these are also really nice to use them on the background. Here I forgot about the foam, and I try to move it while I keep the stamp on the page. It's not perfect, but I don't mind that. I will cover it up with a little bit of black because I want to add some black to make it more grungy. And that's always a bit difficult, stamping directly to the background in an art journal. As I said, I wanted to make the whole page a bit more grungy using black, and here I'm using the black Gelato, which works really nice on a non-porous surface. I don't like those for porous surfaces such as watercolor paper because they stick to the paper and they are not very much blendable. But here on the gel it works really fine. I tried it with water and a brush, but I don't like how this works out, and so I flipped over to the baby wipes. First I'm smudging everything with my fingers, and then I use the wet wipes to blend everything. What's also great about using these water-soluble mediums on top of the gel is that you always can remove them almost completely if you don't like the result. If you don't have the gelatos, you can use the Stabilo Woodies instead, or the Neocolor crayons, for example. I decided to add kind of a frame with that number stamp from the mixed media marks all around the page, and I don't mind that it doesn't stand perfect because of the bulky background, because I just wanted to have it a little bit yes, not perfect, more grungy. I will use my Loose Florals, which I stamp onto jelly prints for the main images. I have them already stamped, but what I need are some more leaves, so I'm searching for some turquoise and greens to stamp those leaves on. And the way I also often mount my stamps is just by using a glue stick, because I'm often a little bit too lazy to wipe everything off, and this is just a quicker way, and you can remove that glue stick after you have stamped just with a baby wipe. That's no problem. This jelly print with the text is made with my journal word stamp set, and I have a clip on how I did this in my Instagram reels. You will find a link to my Instagram page in the video description, and there I have posted also a link to my website where I have a blog post about this page, and you can check out some close-up images. I'm stamping more images than I need to have some more opportunities later when I arrange them on my page. And it's also very handy when you have some ready-to-go images laying around already. So if you don't have much time, you can just make a quick and easy project and use those leftover stamped images. And here I have cut everything out, and I have taken out all the flowers I have already stamped. Before I glue them down, I want to make some white splatters on the page. You see me using the Liquitex acrylic ink. It's not the original Liquitex ink inside of this bottle because it was empty, and I refilled it on my own using a higher quality white paint, which is really highly pigmented. It's from Schminke. They're artist grade white, and I mixed it with water and some fluid medium. I didn't use only water because I want to have it permanent when they are dry. If you mix acrylic paints with too much water, they will not be permanent anymore. So if you go on top with something else, they will bleed. So it's always good to use also some fluid medium in addition to the water. I dried this quickly with my heat tool, just that it's dry enough to glue the flowers down. And I'm using just some wet glue, and I don't adhere them very heavily at the beginning because I want to place some of the leaves underneath the flowers. What's always good when you make such an arrangement on a spread or on a piece of artwork is to take photos or look through your camera onto your spread, and this will give you a different view and you will see better which layout fits and which one doesn't. I'm speeding this part up also a little bit so it's not too long. When I use a main image on a background, I always try to use colors that I also have on the background. So I would never use some complete different colors. I always try to add one different color, but have also some of the colors from the background. That makes look everything more cohesive. I cut off the ends of some of the branches so I can get them underneath the flower. For the title, I decided to pick some stamped letters, which I've also stamped to Gelli printed scraps. And I am just taking out all the alphabets, and I will see which word I can build with them. I definitely need to stamp more of those because you can never have too many letters. I'm going with my favorite word for original pages or for artist trading cards. It's the word dream. And I would have used grow, but I don't have a W, so I picked this one. To finish up everything, I go in with the uniPosca markers and add some more color and highlights to my flowers. And that's my finished page for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you will see us next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye!